Miles, I actually want to start with you as we've got both of you here to visit you and Joseph Harrison. But Miles, tell us a little bit about this horse and y'all's history because, man, it just seems like y'all are a great fit together at these rope horse Futurities.
Yeah, he's a super neat colt. I got him from Tom McCutcheon, kind of end of his 2-year-old year, and he's just been a fun horse. I had it on him a little bit when I started him, but had a really good stride and good feel as a hill horse. He holds his body good and always in a good frame. And I actually showed him as a 3-year-old in that arena last October and won about 15,000 on him. And then first show of the year, I won it on him out in Buckeye, Arizona, and then got to win the Cowtown Classic on him. So he's just a pretty fun little horse. I think he kind of amongst the peers, everybody kind of likes him, and he's just a real good colt. He's been real fun for me to ride, and it's always fun when you got one that's good enough to win at any given show.
Joseph, as I bring you into this, I want to talk a little bit about your program because as we saw the results moments ago, and pretty much anywhere you end up at these rope horse futurities across the country, your name's probably not only going to be in there once, twice, it might be in there 3 or 4 times, just like we saw. That kind of speaks, I think, big time of what your program is and what you got going there at home.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. We just like everybody else, get up earlier, stay later, and try harder while we're there. Hopefully the results will show up.
Miles, when you talk about a horse like this, and you mentioned there in that last question or last answer that you said that this horse was really, really more fit as a heeling horse rather than a heading horse. Kind of explain that and tell us why you really, really try to focus on the heeling side for him.
He's just always had a real fun short stride, and I always say, like, some people are left-handed and some people are right-handed, and that horse has always wanted to hold his head to the left a little bit and holds his shoulders right for a hill horse. And they're just, when you kind of get into those horses, you can feel what they naturally want to do, and a lot of them you head and hill on them anyway, but that horse really was natural in the heeling, and it was a cool fit for him. He took to the pattern good and picked up the cow good, and he's really been fun for me to train. I hate to say it, but about probably anybody could have trained him. He's been so easy.
Ooh, I wish you hadn't put that out there, Miles. They'll all be picking on you now. Joseph, I do want to bring you back in because when you look at the American Rope Horse Futurity, you're getting dangerously close to $500,000 won there. But what I want to focus on and what I want to talk to you about here for a second is the difference in, let's say, the rodeo arena, because you've been to the national finals rodeo. You can rope steers fast. Y'all still rope them fast in the rope horse futurities, but kind of tell the fans at home that are watching, it's a little bit different of a go and what you're trying to do at these futurities. Kind of explain the difference.
Yeah, it's more of a setup, like trying to get your horse set up to where you can get through several runs and it look the same, like it's easy for him. So not necessarily going to try to challenge a turn and, catch the steer as fast as we can possibly catch him. I just like for my horse to look like he was nonchalant, real easy. It was easy for him. Hit the turn in a good spot, follow with his shoulders right and his nose over there out of the way, to where every time I set it down, I would like for it to look the same.
Miles, I want you to talk for just a moment real quick about the training process of these horses, because you've got a good one like you've got right now and a little bit of cash. But at home, and of course with you and Trevor Brazil and y'all's relentless program, every now and then you've got to take a few steps back, especially on these young horses. Kind of tell us how you navigate that with these horses.
Yeah, this horse has been a good example of it because he had such a good pattern to him that I was able to win on him as a 3-year-old. And Joseph and I, we get together and spar nearly every week and bounce ideas off each other and stuff. And I think early in this year, we had the conversation in the indoor that it was time for that horse to start getting real. And what I mean by real is just the pattern of the same run every time puts you a little bit at risk of what the cow does, and if the cow lets you stay on that pattern or not. And so we started sticking that horse up there higher and tighter and teaching him that he had to read the cow on his own. And as I navigated him through that, he's had some ups and downs. He's had some success. And then we made some mistakes at a few futurities that kept us from winning those. But we've kind of circled back around to the foundation. And now he's back to a really good place. I'm really pleased with where he's at because we have a good foundation, but we got a hill horse that can start reading stuff on his own too. And so it's kind of peaks and valleys like it is in any other sport when you're training young horses.
Well, you two are both definitely greats when it comes to the rope horse futurity world, and especially in the American rope horse futurity world. I love getting the inside and the background and the history on these horses from you guys. Miles Baker, thank you. Joseph Harrison, thank you for joining us today on the show, and good luck to both of you guys the rest of this year.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.